Welcome to the Wrestling Nerds Alliance podcast, featuring Robb English, Clifford L. Johnson, and
trick or treat, bitches, because WNA is back. I'm Robb English.
I'm Clifford L. Johnson.
And we are the Wrestling Nerds Alliance. Felt good to say that.
Did it?
Yeah. Felt
like
it.
It's been so long.
It's been like a whole week.
A whole 7 days.
Whole 7 days. So we're going to try a little something different today. Usually we're very, prepared and regimented and we have a format. I don't feel like doing a format today.
What?
Yeah, you notice I didn't send anything to you?
Yeah, well, you usually never send me an outline, but
hey,
today you
ever
really
since
didn't send
Ed
me an
left, ever since Ed left the show, you get an outline every week. So don't even start.
You never send me an outline.
It's been a whole
I freestyle
month
it
now.
every week, bro.
You realize it's been a whole month since Ed's gone?
Oh, man. I don't even want to think about it. It makes me sad.
And he was supposed to, you know what, I'm just going to throw it out there. We didn't tell everybody. He was supposed to come on the show last week.
Yeah, but what happened?
And then at the time we were going to record, he just never fucking responded.
Didn't he, blow his hand up or something?
Did he blow his hand up? Yes, he blew his hand up.
He was injured, wasn't he?
Well, he was. That was a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago. But then he said that he was going to try to, connect with us online and record that way. Kind of like how you and I do.
Hey,
since
man.
you're in the cozy confines of the ATL.
Bitches be tripping, bro.
Which, by the way, I was complaining last week about the hot weather we were having. Oh, it's not that anymore.
Yeah, because you live in Michigan, ass face.
Back to that Michigan fall weather.
You should have known that was coming.
I love the fall, but goddamn. I
Now
went
you're
out
like,
to...
What is this? I came outside with a t-shirt on. Now I need a full parka and an Eskimo hat.
Went to take my daughter to school this morning, and I was like, God damn, there's ice all over the car. Maybe I should have, remote started this shit.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
I think
So
I
no
have to worry
format
about
today.
that 8 days a year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then again, you live in an area where if they get half an inch of snow, they shut down the town.
They do, because they're smart.
Whereas we get, 13 inches of snow and we're going 70 down the freeway.
Right. I'll be down here and I'll be driving on the roads and I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? It's like nothing happening out here. They're like, we got an inch coming. Get the salt trucks. Get everybody out. Evacuate the schools. We got to make sure that people get out at 2 and then they get out at 3. It's like, oh my God. You guys are ridiculous. Learn how to drive.
So yeah, do you feel like you're up to fly without a net? You just
I freestyle every
see
week,
where the
bro.
show goes. Oh, I know you freestyle. You're a rapper. You freestyle all the time.
You think that I look at the outlines even when you send them?
So why do you bitch about it?
Hey. Because I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, Robert.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, how was your week?
My week was awesome. I've been working on no sleep.
You're hitting them 14-hour days down there on set.
Yeah, well, shit, it's been more than that. It's 14 there, and then I come home, and then I got 2 more here, and then 4 more there, and then it's just fucking nightmare.
And then I make you record a show with me for a couple hours, and then I make you edit it.
Then you make me edit it.
And on nights like tonight, we do it literally within 3 hours of when we're going to put it up.
Not today.
What?
What?
Don't you say that to me. Don't you say that to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because if we don't get it up at that time, it's not going up until like Friday night, and then we will have disappointed listeners.
Oh, yeah. All 12 of them.
You know,
Speaking
that's
of
not
disappointed listeners,
true.
let me take a brief moment to offer my apologies. Now, I am known to use a bunch of colorful language, most of which I rarely get checked on. But I've run into a few instances, not just on the podcast, but in my own personal life, where someone was offended by a word that I said. So I will apologize to our listeners, mostly because although there is no malice or negative intent in the things that I say on this podcast, everything is said tongue in cheek, and everything is said, hopefully to put a laugh on somebody, or make them think about something. But if there was anyone that I did offend last week, I do apologize for that. I also want to apologize to a particular person in my personal life that was very, what I called, triggered earlier about that word, where I was just like, oh my God, it's not a big deal. I'm not even referring to blah, 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 blah. And they're like, well, you just don't understand. And I have, special needs people in my family. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it, but I'm still, very, I would say ignorant to the, to the hurt. Because I'm, I go off literal and like, well, it was actually, meant as this, and then it turned into this, and then people turned into that. And I'm tired of people, making people politically correct and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, you know what? It's not even worth it. If it's something that's hurtful, regardless of the interpretation, I apologize for it.
Damn right.
The one person I do not apologize to, though, is said douchebag on Twitter. I don't know. Well, I know his name. I know actually everything about him.
Yeah.
But I won't mention any of that information. Just know I have people in large and small places. But yeah. So he said he's going to unsubscribe, so I assume that he's not listening, but we all know.
Oh, he's listening.
Because you're a fucking douchebag.
He's listening.
I'm not apologizing to you because you are a piece of shit. And the next time you try to, quote unquote, come at me, bro, I'm going to come at you for real. Just putting that out there.
Wow,
so anyway,
this just took a turn, didn't it?
Yeah, because he gonna make the inkster come out, and I try not to. I've tried to suppress that guy for quite some time, but you don't want me to say the R word. Okay, I got it, but I will say the N word, and I'll say that all day, and I wish you would say something to me about it.
Well, let me put it this way: I firmly believe that Mr. Unsubscribe is listening. Because I feel like he's the guy who, well, for one thing, I don't think he was subscribing to our show to begin with. I told you why I think he listened when we had this talk last week. I think it was literally so that he could find something to throw a fit about on Twitter, and he did, and that just happened to be the moment. Now, in my opinion, he was correct in pointing it out. I pointed it out when you said it last week.
Right.
We're not going to repeat it, but if you listened to the show last week, within the first 5 minutes, you hear me call Cliff out on using a certain word. But we moved on at that moment because the way I looked at it is I said something, you gave me the reason why you said it. We just moved on because there was no point in getting into it.
Right.
Because you know what? You heard me bring it up. Like, really? That.
Yeah.
I literally think that person use that moment to do what apparently he does very well on Twitter, and that's just troll the fuck out of people, but act like he's not.
Right.
So at this point, I'm going to say, Mr. Unsubscribe, you're probably listening, and I'm probably pissing you off to where you're getting your 140 characters ready.
Oh, he's getting it ready.
Should you decide to break your own oath from a week ago and have shit to say on Twitter, I'm not going to respond to you, no matter what you say. We win, respond. You lose.
I'm responding. As a matter of fact,
I've wasted more breath.
I might just tag him just so I can make sure he listens this week.
No, I'm
like, hey man, you know what? I wanted to issue you an apology, man. If you take a listen to our show, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
But honestly, he's probably just going to listen to it anyway because he's expecting
us to talk shit.
He wants to see if we say something about him, and we are. So go ahead.
You will automatically look like an ass for listening when you unsubscribe.
Right.
So, hey, we're putting you in a corner here, I guess. Either way.
He's gonna be like, oh, man, I came back to listen because I figured what I said was.
Oh, so-and-so told me to listen. No. And if somebody does that, then you're just starting shit and it'll probably block your ass too. I don't care.
So you all can hashtag suck a fat bag of D.
And I'm wasting more breath about this than I care to. So let's move on.
Okay. And cut.
Yes. Anyways, TLC happened this past week.
It did.
And not a whole lot on there that I feel like really talking about. I don't feel like talking about a lot of things right now in wrestling.
It's because at some point we realized that,
it's a kid's show.
It's a child show. I'm in my late 20s. You're in your late 40s. And
incorrect on both counts.
And I just feel like, at some point we have to understand that this show isn't meant for us.
It's just for fun.
It's just not.
And arguing about who should be 6 years doing what. Yeah.
In 6 years when Kevin is old enough to understand, maybe it'll be relevant to me again. But I think we have such high expectations because we were fans during
when it was massive.
The boom.
Yeah.
When wrestling was everything to us. And since they've shifted to this PG era and this very much geared towards, children. But we were children back then when it was geared towards adults, which is that the shift, that dynamic is funny to me. But, we were kids and watching Raw and watching, titties get pulled out on the show. Like literally, Sable's titties, Jackie's titties, like real live nipple, cat's titties. Like we were like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a kid's show, right? There's titties on the show. I'm definitely watching wrestling.
Well, look, I'm not shitting on it either. You know what I mean? Like what I'm trying to say is, and I still stand by this, I'll argue with just about anybody about this and explain to you why I feel this way. It's my opinion. You don't have to agree. That's the whole point. Okay. When wrestling is done well, there's nothing like it.
Oh, yeah.
No movie, no TV show, no comic book, nothing that gives you the same feeling when it's done well.
Because it's putting all of that together.
Right. There's still points, even in today's product, where it is done well. And you get those moments. And that's why you continue to watch every week. And I'm still going to keep watching.
For sure.
I'm never going to not watch. But this show has also put me in a position to where I'm now watching not so much from a fan's perspective. I'm watching thinking, ooh, what are we going to talk about this week?
Right. We're We're trying to have journalistic integrity now.
I won't even put it that way. I'll just say I'm trying to find something to talk about on the show to keep it entertaining, because we have not 12, we have much more than that listeners around the world
14.
now. Around the world now in other countries that listen to our show every week.
And that's awesome.
That's amazing.
I didn't even think about that at that. Like when we started this, that wasn't even like
on our radar.
My radar. Like,
nope.
Oh, hey, we have to be careful of, things that we say. That's why even having that discussion about the words, it's just like, oh, I guess it isn't just you and I talking.
No.
We have an audience.
Right now, it's you and I talking, but we put this up, and there's going to be people around the world now that hear us having this conversation. And that's where, say what you want about political correctness. Look, I am beyond humbled that I have somebody who I've never met in the UK, somebody who I've never met in Australia right now that knows my name and my voice and tunes in every week. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
But I also know that I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to put out a shitty product, because now they like it enough to where they want to keep listening.
Right.
So I am taking something that's been a love of mine for my entire life, and I'm taking some of my fandom out of it so that I can think more in terms of, oh, geez, what am I going to talk about this week?
Right.
And I think that's why I'm throwing the format out today, because the way I look at it is for the next, few weeks, I want to try to just be a fan again. I'm going to have my likes. I'm going to have my dislikes. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for having yours. And that's the biggest problem too, is that, I use our Twitter account, and I have no problem with trolls. Trolls are what they are. For the most part, you ignore them, they go away. Or you're just pleasant to them, and then they go away.
Right. Once you stop engaging, they're like, wait a minute, you're not falling for my tricks.
Right.
I'm out of here.
But at the same time, Twitter is also something that's kind of fucking things up for most wrestling fans. Because the moment you say something that can even be looked at slightly negative about a personal favorite of theirs, people get fucking triggered, bro. God damn, if you don't call Alexa Bliss the greatest thing walking, people act like you just called her all out her name and, said what, and like, no, I'm just saying that, like, I thought that so-and-so, could have had the match. Oh, sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say? It's my opinion. I'm sorry. But that's where it's taken some of the enjoyment out of this for me. And I'm not saying this like I'm whining. I'm not saying it like I'm complaining. I'm just saying that I want this to still be fun, and I want to still have fun doing the show, and I want to have fun watching what I love and talking with people about it online and whatever. And so this week's going to be a little bit more just like, hey, let's just chat. Let's see what happens. Let's talk about the product. Let's talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about and go from there. So yeah, we're throwing the format out. We're going to, hope you like it, and we'll see where it goes. I love the fact that we have devoted listeners around the world now. I love the fact that we have people that, follow us on Twitter, and I interact with you daily. It's fantastic. I love every second of it. I don't want it to stop. And I'm not saying this as in like I feel at times like it may. Not at all. I just want to, I don't know, try something different here and not be so analytical about everything that we're doing. Because as you just said a moment ago, Cliff, this is a kid's show. It really is. If you don't like the storylines, if you don't like the way things are, you have every right to complain about it. That's your right as a human being.
Yeah.
But if you don't like it that much, there's other options.
You can,
go to Ring of Honor.
Just stop watching.
Go to the indies. Support your indie promotions. Goddamn, we have indie wrestlers that listen to our show, and they're amazing talents that I would hope one day get, the chance to be seen on a national scale. But at the same time,
NXT.
Go find them.
Just watch NXT.
If you hate what they're doing to fucking Finn Balor, and I'm going to cancel my... No, you're not. You're not going to cancel your subscription. You're not going to not tune in. Go to an indie show.
$10 is coming out no matter what.
Right. Go to an indie show and watch something from that point of view.
Oh, man. Speaking of indie show, there was a Ring of Honor show out here a couple of weeks ago, and I was pissed I didn't go to it.
They're coming here to Mount Pleasant, the Soaring Eagle Cup.
Yeah, I saw that. That's going to be pretty freaking great.
Yeah, I believe it's this coming weekend. I almost think I want to try to go, but I don't know if I can, convince the lady to let me sneak away for a few hours.
We're just going to go to the casino, babe.
Oh, let's
take a trip. And she's like, wait a minute, Rob.
Actually, no, she probably would, and her and the kid will stay in the room, and I'll just go watch the...
Hey, babe, I'm just going to go to the tables real quick. Can you watch the baby for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Come back with a fucking T-shirt on and a sign.
So,
but, yeah. So
Halloween's next week.
Halloween is next week, and it's one of my favorite days of the year.
Me too, man.
I love it. And now that I have a kid, I love it even more.
Well, see, that's
dress him up and shit.
I don't know. That's been an issue for me for years.
What?
Holidays in general. I like Halloween, but I don't know. I've had problems celebrating holidays. Christmas always just depresses me.
Well, the thing about holidays is that, first of all, I like the ability to get with family and, because really holidays are the only times that people have like off work. So that I understand. It's like, hey, I'm going to be off for the next, 4 or 5 days. So if you ever wanted to do some traveling and go see some family out of town or anything like that, this is the time to do it because you're off work. But I don't believe in the notion that we only get to do these things on this day, or it's a necessity, or it's like you have to do it. Like, oh, okay, it's Valentine's Day. You got to go buy some flowers and candy. It's Halloween. You have to go trick or treating. It's Christmas. You have to go buy me some gifts. And it's just like, no, I bought you a gift last week. It's
you
like,
buy me a gift last week.
Well, because you suck. You were a bad boy. So you didn't get any gifts. You were naughty. You're on the naughty list this year.
Yeah, whatever.
But no, I get it, man. Like I'm the same way when it comes to certain holidays. It's just like I participate, when it comes to, just the notion of it and the time. But my thing is like I buy shit all throughout the year. I do stuff just out of the goodness of my heart. I'm not gonna just go to somewhere because it's December 25th now, so you should probably go to soup kitchen and it's Thanksgiving, so you should go pass out turkeys at the homeless shelter. And it's just like, well, why don't you do that on June 8th in the middle of the summer when just do it then. Do it on August 4th when nobody's telling you to, or you're not getting pressured to do it. Just do it because you want to. So that's my take on it. So I agree with you on the whole holiday thing, but I do participate in certain things, and now I'm looking forward more. I think more. I've been cynical in my grown up years and in my late 20s. Just because
Late.
I just didn't care, and I wanted to be like, oh man, I don't have to subscribe to the same type of values that everybody else does, blah blah blah. Now I have a kid. I'm like, I can't wait to Halloween to put Kevin in a costume. It's gonna be the greatest.
Yeah, my daughter, we did this Halloween thing over at Greenfield Village. So she got to wear her costume to it. And she's one of the descendants. You know, the Disney movie. Have you seen that?
Oh, I'm like, wait a minute, The Descendants. Wasn't that I thought that was like a scary movie.
No. That's The Descent.
But that's what made me think, like, well, the people in that movie would be the descendants, right? I don't know.
But yeah, to see her in her little costume, it made me happy. And it made me jealous. I wanted to dress up. We went to that thing, and there was, a kid made a costume, and him and his brother were an AT-AT from Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
It was dope. I was like, whoever made this is a genius. Like, it had moving gun turrets and everything. I was like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
This dude made a homemade Groot costume, and he was in stilts. So he looked like he was 9 feet tall.
Something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't the same guy. No, it wasn't the same guy. The one that you're thinking about looked much better than this one, but this one was still a pretty solid homemade costume. But yeah, he was in stilts, so he was like 9 feet tall and everything. It was pretty funny. Although there's a lot of walking there, and I don't know why he chose to wear stilts in an area where you have to walk a lot. But he did. And I laughed about halfway through when Groot was sitting down and took his stilts off.
Not my testimony.
So, yeah. Wrestling, guys.
Wrestling guy, right? Oh, yeah. So, wrestling, guys. We told you guys that we were just all over the place today. Okay, TLC. And
TLC. Go. What did you think of Balor and AJ?
I thought it was awesome. I thought the aura of what was happening was awesome. And that, just having them have a match with each other was cool. Because if you look at the kind of the history of AJ Styles and Finn Balor or Fergal Devitt or Prince Devitt, they kind of always seem to be in passing. Like, it was like, okay, and just in recent memory, Finn or Devitt left New Japan for NXT. AJ Styles goes to New Japan, takes over the Bullet Club. Then we hear that AJ Styles is coming to WWE, so we're like, oh, maybe he's going to go to NXT first. And then he didn't go to NXT, and he went straight to the main roster. And then Finn gets called up, and AJ goes to SmackDown. It's just like, oh, damn it. What the hell? So it's just like they keep kind of passing, like just two ships in the night. And then to finally have them be able to have that match, I thought it was really cool. And then, of course, the Too Sweet at the end, which broke the internet and broke several hymens across the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, I can think of a couple.
You know who you are. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good match, and I thought the build up. I mean, well, of course there was no build up, but I mean the aura around the match I thought was pretty cool.
I really liked the match, but I also was kind of like, it happened. I'm happy it happened. I'd like to see it happen again. But I think, in my opinion, I think the aura of it, like you were talking about, kind of made people oversell it a bit. and act like it was the greatest thing that ever happened.
Oh, you didn't think it was the greatest thing that ever happened?
I did not.
You didn't think it was the match of the year?
Nope.
Come on, bro.
No.
It was at least the match of the day.
Well, match of the day, sure. Wait a minute. You didn't like seeing Seth and Dean and their dad come out in the riot gear, and that wasn't your match of the day?
Stupid.
I'm convinced. I'm calling it right now.
I thought it was a terrible way to bring back Kurt Angle.
I'm calling it right now. To piss everybody off, WWE better reveal that Braun Strowman is the illegitimate son of Kane and Katie Vick. I'm telling you, they have to. They have to. 100% they have to.
Bro, if that happens, I will.
I know for a fact that we're going to have some non-wrestling fans listening to this week's show, just because I know we have some questions in the mailbag that are coming up from people that don't normally listen to our show. Google Katie Vick.
Make sure you have your
I'll wait.
Your security online as well.
Yeah, don't do it from work.
Yeah,
this is definitely not safe.
Put your filter on.
But I'll wait. Go ahead. Google Katie Vick and go.
And
welcome back.
Disgusted?
Now,
are you?
Now you're disgusted. Yes, that did happen in wrestling. Yes, I still watch after that happened. You take the good with the bad.
We got to.
But yeah, I want Braun Strowman to be revealed as Kane's illegitimate son with Katie Vick. I'm calling it right now.
That would be absolutely insane.
And then Braun, takes out Dad at the next show and retires him because, Kane, believe it or not, again, non-wrestling fans listening to this show, Kane, real name Glenn Jacobs, that man is currently running for mayor of Knox County in Tennessee. Knox County, Tennessee, or not? Yeah, I think it's Knox County is the name of the city. Yeah, he's running for mayor. That's a mayor. That's a mayor right there.
A mayor who just attempted murder on television.
They threw him in a garbage truck. They threw Braun Strowman in a garbage truck and turned on the fucking compressor. Are you fucking kidding me?
And then the way Michael Cole says it, he could be out for weeks or months, maybe.
He's trapped in there. No, he was murdered.
Right.
He was murdered on live TV.
The only thing that was missing was a trickle of blood from the from the damn back.
Yeah, you just had a man murdered on live TV in a garbage truck. Thank you for watching. But I tweeted at that moment, I said, don't worry, he'll be back in 10 minutes. He'll walk out carrying the garbage truck over his shoulder.
Right. I'm not finished with you.
Right. Throw it at Kane.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I that whole, I guess it's like you have to suspend disbelief in that moment too. Because, of course, we've seen people get thrown in dumps. We saw Eric Bischoff get thrown in a dump. We've seen, Kalisto was thrown in a dumpster and then tossed off the side of a freaking stage. So I get it. But I'm still like...
Braun Strowman flipped an ambulance a couple weeks ago. It was still one of the best things I've seen all year. However...
Yeah. And then Roman almost killed him.
He flipped an ambulance.
But it's still one of those like, so you say he's going to be out for months, huh?
He'll be back next week.
Up next week. And it's just, how did he do it? He's really a monster, guys. We just want to make sure you know it. Like,
speaking of monsters, demons, monsters, whatever, I was happy to see in the AJ Finn Balor match that Finn did not wear the pumpkin makeup that he wore on
please,
Raw.
Thank you. That shit was the worst. Pumpkin Finn.
Pumpkin Demon Finn. Pumpkin Spice Finn.
Yeah, that was so... Oh, shit.
Pumpkin Spice Finn. That's what we're going to call that from now on.
I'm going to bleep it out this time.
Oh, you did? You fucking said it again. God damn it.
I can't help it, dude. It's been in my vocabulary for 20 plus years.
That doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't be saying that shit.
I'm not. I didn't mean it.
All right, moving on.
I'm going to bleep it.
You just
Let's say it again.
Yeah.
This is going to go. I'm going to take it out. So wait, say pumpkin. Talk about Pumpkin Finn again.
So yes, Pumpkin Spice Finn. That is what we will call him from now on. Pumpkin Spice Finn. You know, I often say that I believe pumpkin spice is the flavor of hell. So it fits.
No, it's definitely not pumpkin spice. It's candy corn.
Candy corn?
Yes.
What is candy corn? What is the flavor of candy corn? I don't know.
It's garbage. That's what it is.
So you don't like candy corn either, right? You know the best way to
eat candy corn?
Not.
Yeah.
Don't.
Exactly.
If you're listening to the show right now and you like candy corn, cool. I hope you can have mine. You can have mine.
No, not cool. It's like a bag of ass.
A bag of ass.
Yes, like if you could take ass and compress it and put it in a piece of candy, you would get candy corn.
What other candies do you not like?
That I don't like. I don't like. I mean, we've been friends in it.
We've been friends forever. I really don't know this about you. We lived together at one point.
Like I don't like Mounds and Almond Joy. I think those are the worst candies ever made. That and black licorice.
Oh, black licorice is awful.
Yeah. Just the smell of black licorice. And I think it's racist that they made black licorice the nastiest candy in the history of mankind.
That was planned.
Yeah. They're like, ooh, let's give them a black licorice, but let's make it taste like death.
Is that, okay, so then explain Jaeger. Because Jaeger tastes like black licorice.
Yeah, but the thing about Jaeger is it'll get you drunk.
Oh, I can't drink Jaeger.
Black licorice just makes you throw up.
Even the smell of Jaeger makes me want to vomit because of one night. Still to this day. That night was almost 15 years ago now. Yeah, I almost died drinking Jaeger. Literally, I'm not kidding. I almost died. Did I ever tell you this story?
No, when was this?
My cousin came up to visit.
Justin?
Yes. And Justin is a hillbilly from Kentucky. He came up to visit and he wanted to get drunk, and we decided to go get drunk. And he then we were on our way home. He wanted to stop. He wanted to get Jaeger because he just wanted to do Jaeger shots the rest of the night. Now, mind you, we were already drunk. We bought a big ass bottle of Jaeger. He brought shot glasses from home. Leave it to a hillbilly to bring shot glasses wherever he goes. But they were double shot glasses.
Wow.
And within an hour and a half, we finished the bottle. I still remember the count because my wife, girlfriend at the time, counted. And after 10, she said, I think you've had enough. I did 21.
I'll tell me when you've had enough.
I did 21 double shots of Jaeger in an hour and a half.
You're stupid.
Bro, I was puking blood.
Jeez.
I couldn't stand. I crawled to the bathroom. And even crawling was an issue. I fell asleep with my head in the toilet.
Wow. Yeah, that's terrible.
Steph had to carry me downstairs. You know how small my wife is compared to me.
I was going to say, how did she do that?
I am literally almost a foot and a half taller than my wife, and I outweigh her by well over 130 pounds. She somehow maneuvered me downstairs and in
That's
bed.
When you knew she was the one.
Yep. She sat there in the bathroom with me for over an hour with my head laying in a toilet, puking blood. And she said, I need to call an ambulance. And I was like, no, don't do it.
Don't do it. I'll be all right. I'm okay.
Oh, still to this day.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
I can't drink Jaeger. That smell just makes me.
Yeah, I can't do it straight. I can drink Jaeger bombs, though, because the Red Bull just keeps you amped. But I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done that since my early 20s. So at least like maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
So how's this for an awful segue?
What? Speaking of getting shit-faced.
I don't mean to. I swear this is an awful segue. It's just trying to stay on track here. Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, I already know where you're going.
Yeah,
you're terrible.
I know.
You're
I'm sorry.
Absolutely terrible.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It's in the news.
It's in the news. That's why I'm bringing it up, and it popped it into my head. Jeff Jarrett officially let go by Impact Wrestling. They have officially abandoned the use of the Global Force Wrestling name. Jeff Jarrett, not long after that announcement, popped up at an independent show recently. They said that he was late. He showed up. He was in no condition to be there. He was drinking. He passed out backstage. His music played. He did not come out. He had to literally be woken up to come out to do an autograph signing that he was supposed to do. But like I said, his music played. He didn't come out immediately. When he finally made his way to the ring, he got on the mic. There's video of it. Heavily slurring his words. At one point, he wrestled this way, and if I was the guy who was in the ring with him, I would have been furious.
They still let him wrestle?
They let him wrestle this indie show. He tried to pick a guy up for the body slam. He couldn't do it. He collapsed. He fell on top of the guy, went immediately into the pin. They wrestled a little bit more, and then he did his little, strut spot. But, he's got to walk a straight line when he does that, so he's kind of wobbling back and forth, and it was a mess. It was sad to watch. Well, not long after that video came out and his official dismissal from Impact, WWE does what they do for former performers, no questions asked. If you say you need help, they will pay for it. He has checked into an inpatient rehab that is being sponsored by WWE. So hopefully he gets the help he needs, because there's been rumors of it for some time now.
I mean, we were been joking about it on the show, and it was just like, it was tongue-in-cheek at the time, but it's just like, now you're like, whoa, you really, really need to get help.
Transitioning from that, we're talking about like other things that are out there besides WWE. I want to get more into trying to watch Impact. I feel like I need to.
I've tried to. I've watched a couple episodes here and there over the course of the last couple of months, even since we've started our podcast. And I think I'm just so far removed because all the guys that I used to love in Impact is now in WWE. So it's almost like, I don't even recognize the people that are there anymore because I don't really, I don't subscribe to, like, I'm not fans of them, I'm not a fan of Abyss or Joseph Park. I'm not really a fan of, I really can't think of anybody. I like EC3, but that's probably about it.
I don't get to watch it enough to know a lot of the names. I know EC3. I know local lady, Sienna. She's a Detroit girl.
You got Moose.
She's
Yeah.
one of the.
What up,
She's
though?
the knockouts champ, isn't she? Sienna.
Yeah. Well, technically,
Was
she's the Global Force
a
Women's
women's.
Champion.
What are they gonna do with those
But
belts?
I don't know. They've changed their belts so much
It was 4
in
months
like the
ago
last year.
that they just bought Global Force, and what was it, like 2 months ago that they changed their name, and then like
Maybe
3
they'll
weeks
keep the
later they
belts
had to
and
change it again.
they'll just chisel off the Global Force and
Put Impact on it.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's got to
Yeah,
be
they'll probably just
frustrating
keep the
for
belts the same.
the people in the company
Yeah. But hopefully it'll work. I mean,
and the fans.
at the end of the day, I still wish that, I still wish them success because I'd love to see a viable product and a viable rival
Alternative.
to, well, yeah, to the E. And
Speaking
it was
of,
for a while for me. I really like I used to really watch
yeah, you
Impact.
used to watch Impact a
Love it.
lot.
And yeah, I was a fan. But like I said, I was a fan of what they were doing. And once I stopped watching Impact consistently after a little bit after Hogan came, because I felt like he kind of came in when him and Bischoff came in. They kind of took away the essence of what TNA was, and they changed it to WWE Light. And they changed it to, it was different when it was just like, okay, Kurt Angle came in, Christian came in for a little bit, and it was like, it was cool to see the legends pop in here and there and, stuff like that. And Sting was always a staple there. But when Hogan came in and then he brought the Nasty Boys in, and I'm just like, what? Why are we getting the Nasty Boys on television in 2000 and whatever that was, 12, 13, something like that? But I'm just like, it was just ridiculous. I was like, yeah, I can't watch this shit anymore. And I tuned in every now and again to see what was happening with AJ and Bobby Roode once they turned him, and it was like, okay, I liked it, but I just couldn't stay consistent with it anymore.
I would like there to be alternatives out there. I mean, Ring of Honor's there, Impact is there. Shout out to Brent at Home Video Hustle. He's a huge fan of Lucha Underground.
I like Lucha.
I need to binge Lucha Underground. I watched most of the first season and then I stopped watching for I can't even remember why. And I just never caught up because I know it's serialized and I didn't want to miss anything.
But that's kind of the thing.
The
that
first
I
two
like
seasons are
about
on
Lucha
Netflix
Underground.
though. So it's like I might binge on it. Yeah.
That's kind of dope.
The third season just finished, and there's talk that they may not get a fourth, or if they do, it'll be somewhere else, not on El Rey. So I hope they get a fourth. I know we got a couple of the guys that perform in Lucha Underground that follow us on Twitter. I don't know 100% if they listen to the show, but maybe they just follow us. But I know Marty follows us. I know Vinny Massaro follows us. Vinny, if you're listening, hit me up. Let me know. Do you know what's going on? Like, have you guys heard anything about a fourth season? I mean, I'd love to know.
I think they should definitely get one. I mean, I haven't watched the third season. I think I watched the first 2 episodes, but I haven't had the chance to really check it out. But I do love the fact that it's serialized. I like that it's an ongoing story from beginning to end, and that it has kind of a beginning and an end.
And it's outside the box. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Aerostar is like a time traveling alien or something. You know what I mean? Like, Matanza is this monster, stuff like that. I like that. I think it's cool.
Like Joey Ryan being the detective and all
undercover,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. He's going and undercover in this underground wrestling thing to try to take him down. Like, I thought that part of it I thought was really cool.
Matt Cross in his mask and giant beard, Son of Havoc, with his voice distorted and shit like that.
Yeah. So, but if anything does come out of Lucha Underground ending, if anything great comes out of it, it would be seeing the incarnation of my wrestling persona, Prince Puma, King Ricochet.
You and Ricochet do kind of look like you could be brothers a little bit.
For sure.
But I mean, I know there was rumblings online that he was unhappy that he even had to wait out season 3, because he was under contract. But it's over, and I read earlier today that they're saying that Ricochet is not taking bookings into January. That he's taken him up to that point, and then after that, he's not anymore. So there's talk that he could be headed to WWE. I don't know if that means NXT. I don't know if he's going to be a surprise entrance in the Rumble.
I think he'd probably go to NXT. I don't think his star is bright enough yet to go straight to the WWE.
In ring, yes.
In ring, yeah. I mean, yeah, he'll get over.
I've seen him cut a couple promos, and he's not horrible, but
he's not horrible. But he's not.
He could probably use a little polish.
He could definitely use some polishing. He could definitely use some performance center, for sure. But in ring, if they just stick a mask on him and have him go out and wrestle, then yeah. But if he needs to go out and cut promos and there's no telling what kind of terrible gimmick they're going to give him, because they're not going to call him Puma, and they're not going to let him keep Ricochet probably unless he stays in TNA. I mean, unless he stays down in NXT, maybe they'll let him keep Ricochet, maybe. But yeah, if he comes straight to the WWE, to the main roster, I doubt it.
Let me shout out our buddies over at the What Were They Thinking podcast, fellow Castaway. We're in that little group, the Castaways, a bunch of podcasts aside from our PWO brothers. Shout out to you guys. He just DM'd me and said he's finally given us a listen. I said, well, hey, we're recording tomorrow morning's episode right now, so I'm going to give you a shout out. So, hey, thanks for listening. Finally, what took you so damn long? Really? So, yeah, I don't know. We're bouncing all around right now. Maybe we did need a format. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. But you know what? Fuck it.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I did want to talk about Raw on Monday. We had the hashtag Under Siege.
Under Siege.
Which, by the way, I am wholly sick of, because they probably used hashtag Under Siege 45 times on SmackDown Tuesday night when they were talking about it. I don't know. I mean, that's their big buzzword, but it was a pretty cool angle, Shane comes to the ring and he does his whole, talking to Kurt and letting him know, hey, I'm not alone kind of thing. And you're out here talking to me. Maybe what you should be doing is worrying about what's going on backstage. Kurt goes running to the back, and out comes the SmackDown crew, and he's like, blue team, go get him.
Go get him.
And you had some shit. But what I thought was pretty funny, who looked worse in this scenario? When the SmackDown crew is coming backstage, you see Dana Brooke, Alexa Bliss, and Emma take off and fucking run.
Right. Like some little...
Or was it Bayley, Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox, and why am I drawing a blank on the fourth person? Mickie James, who stood their ground and got that ass whipped by all the SmackDown females.
Well, the thing about it, like when I saw it, I was like, when they approached them in the back, it was like, wait, it's an even fight.
Right.
So it was, yeah, who was it? Bailey? Yeah, Sasha Banks and Mickey James.
And Bailey and Alicia Fox.
It was Alicia Fox too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Versus
Natty, Carmella,
Becky Lynch, Carmella,
Becky,
and it wasn't Charlotte.
I don't remember who it was.
Who was the fourth? Was it Tamina?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember now.
Either way, I know. So it was a 4-on-4, and all four of them got beat down.
Gable took a run at Jason Jordan.
At Jordan, he was the first one to hit him. I was like, whoa.
And they even talked about it on SmackDown. Gable looked like a little pit bull back there.
Jeez.
But yeah, that was a pretty cool angle. I just don't like, but it's WWE typical buzzword. That was their hashtag, so they were going to use it 45 times. And I guarantee on Monday, they're going to use it 35 more because they're going to be recapping what happened the week before and talking about it. But Raw did not invade SmackDown, which I actually kind of liked. It was the slow burn. Let's hold it off. Let's give it some time. Heck, you could wait until the go home show because as far as I'm concerned, SmackDown needs the win. So typical WWE booking, the go home show, whoever is not going to win looks strong.
Right.
But you joke all the time that somebody in Stamford may be listening to our show because they steal your ideas. They stole mine that I talked about last week, where I said I wanted the whole Survivor Series card to be Raw versus SmackDown across the board, not just the elimination matches, but go IC versus US, Universal versus World title, tag champs against tag champs. They're doing it.
You read that on some wrestling website.
I will punch you in the motherfucking mouth. I don't need to. Because I am.
You got that from PWI.
Hashtag Rob Knows Wrestling. I don't know. We're kind of fairly early in the show, but I don't know. I feel like, yes, early.
Early for us.
Early for us, because, we sometimes creep up on that 2.5 hour mark. We're not going to do that today, although, I don't know. We'll see where this mailbag takes us. You want to hit the mailbag?
Ooh, right now?
Or do you want to hit our WCW?
You might want to rephrase that, sir.
Oh, excuse me. Do you want to? Yeah, my apologies. Let's talk about our WCW. So
there we go.
Go ahead and hit that, Scott Hall.
How many people here came to see WCW?
Our WCW of the week. This was not planned, so please don't call me out on it, Cliff.
Sure.
Is a lovely follower of ours from the UK.
Of course. If you guys don't know by now, just pay attention.
I love me some UK ladies and Aussie ladies. Well, you know what? The last name's English. Perhaps I should have just been born there because I seem to like everything from the UK.
Yep. Pretty much.
And our WCW this week is no exception. We are talking about at Redhead Wrasslin'. That is Redhead RASSLLIN. Excuse me. One L.
Let's start it. Let's try it again.
Okay, let's try that again. At Redhead Wrasslin'. Redhead RASSLIN. Ghosty McGhostface is her.
That is the funniest name. I give people those like end in Y, start in Mick names all the time.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's just like it can be anything.
Ghosty McGhostface.
Like I would just call you like stupid Mick English face.
She is a wrestling fan. She is somebody who, much like our other UK lovely lady, Miss Chelsea Carla X. She doesn't play around on Twitter. If you're a dude and you are getting a little nasty, she has no problem cutting you to shreds, which is awesome. She has a blog. Her blog, redheadramble.wordpress.com. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. So please go give her a follow. You will not be disappointed. She is a lovely, lovely redhead lady. Awesome fan, and we're very happy that she follows us. So give her some love.
Did you say she's a lovely, lovely redhead lady?
Redhead lady.
You are 48 years old.
She's a lovely young lass.
She's a lovely, lovely, lovely redhead lady.
A redhead lady. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I don't know what to say. That's where we're going today. Lovely redhead lady.
Holy shit. I guess what we just... Never mind.
I'm not going to be derogatory and, say something nasty.
You don't have to be derogatory, but it's just a lovely, lovely redhead
I didn't want to...
lady.
I also didn't want her...
sounded so uncomfortable.
In the event that she hears it, to think I'm crossing a line and saying something I shouldn't say. So I cut it at lady.
Lady. A lovely
redhead lady.
Oh, man. Can't you just say she's a beautiful woman?
She's beautiful. She absolutely is beautiful. And we love her here. So please give her a follow, give her some love, and tell her WNA sent you, because she's awesome.
She's beautiful, and she also has a nice personality.
Look at you. Trying to recover for me. I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, man. And apparently, according to her tweet 3 hours ago, her jugs are huge. They hold so much water for when it's hot or for when someone is thirsty as hell.
Right, because she had a tweet. I laughed about that when I read that earlier. Because somebody tweeted at her about, like, she's a wrestling bird with huge jugs. And she was like, you're right, my jugs are huge. They carry lots of water.
Oh, and funny.
Yes, she is very funny. So yes, give her some love.
Hey, redhead.
Hey.
Hi.
Let's hit the mailbag. Why am
mailbag?
Yeah. Oh, I stepped on your bit there.
You really did. I was just gonna delete you. I was gonna cut you out there, but it's cool.
You just leave it now because it's whatever.
Yeah, it's in there now. I don't care anymore.
All right, so we're gonna get to this mailbag right now. We got some interesting I'm gonna save that one for second. I am not using that one first because I am not out the gate making you uncomfortable.
Making me uncomfortable?
Yeah. No, you know what? I will. Fuck it. We're starting off with a hot question here. You ready for this, Cliff? It's a 2-part question.
Okay.
And it's from our friends, fellow Castaways podcast, the High Expectations podcast. Their question: if you had to, which wrestler would you make out with for 5 minutes?
Maurice.
Oh, no. You have 3 choices.
What?
Hulk Hogan. Ultimate Warrior. Oh no, I'm sorry. You have 4. You have 4 choices. Excuse me. I don't know how to count. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, or Ravishing Rick Rude. Second part to the question. Wait. Second part to the question.
To this question.
Yes. Because she says, I feel like this has an easy answer, so I'm ending this question with, and which one for 10 minutes? So pick one for 5.
One for 5 and one for 10. That, okay. Well, so if you had to?
Yeah.
Like, let's define had to. Is it like you don't kiss this wrestler, we're gonna kick you in the dick, or we're gonna shoot your mom, or run over your dog, or
I'm the analytical one, and you're thinking way too hard about this. You have to. Okay, let's say you are going to be locked up for life in prison and solitary confinement for a crime you did not commit, and your name is going to be dragged through the mud. The only way you get out of this punishment is by making out with two wrestlers, one for 5 minutes, one for 10. Who's it going to be?
Oh, jeez. Well, okay. If I had to, holy shit, this is terrible. I'm gonna go with
We'll hit your 5 minute first.
Well, see, for me, I just have to. It just have to be one for the entire.
No, she says
we'll just go
pick
15.
two wrestlers.
Why?
Oh, you're going 15 minutes with one?
We'll just go 15.
All right,
just
buddy.
fuck it. Just heavy. Just
get in there.
Might as well just knock it all out.
Right. Get in there. Who's it gonna be?
You're you get one, right?
Right. Be an all-star. Go for it.
Yeah, you get one.
Go for it. Who's it gonna be? You're telling me you're ready for it, but you're not answering.
Dude. I'm gonna have to go with Ravishing on this one.
Really?
Because I feel like he knows how to treat you.
He knows how to treat you. He treats you right.
Treats you right.
And
that big, thick, manly mustache.
Oh yeah, see? Mustache ride. All right.
Fucking terrible.
So here we go. I told you I'm gonna get analytical about it, right?
Oh God.
So I have my 4 options there. And I was trying hard to figure out who it was gonna be, whether it be 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Now, I'm not going to choose Ultimate Warrior. And the reason being, Ultimate Warrior would not do it. Because, if you recall, before he passed away, made a living being a motivational speaker. And at one speech, he actually used the words when he was talking about like society and where it was headed. He actually said, quote, not me saying it, Ultimate Warrior saying it, "Queering don't make the world work." So anybody that says that in public is not going to make out with me.
Actually, somebody who says that in public
just might
probably would do it in private.
Yes, look at all of our politicians. It seems like the ones who rail against it the most are the ones that are meeting you in the bathroom stall, right? So anyways, So Ultimate Warrior's out. My choices now are Ravishing Rick Rude, Hulk Hogan, and Macho Man Randy Savage. I would choose the Hulkster for a couple of reasons. One, because he's an icon, and I can brag about it later. I made out with Hulk Hogan for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But the problem is that wrestling fans also know that Hulk Hogan loves to change the story around to make himself look better. He's going to brag about it. He's going to say that I came onto him. He's going to talk about how, I wanted to make out with him for 20. That I told him that he was the best makeout session I ever had. He's going to do that. He's going to go out and talk about it. Also, if you've seen Hulk Hogan's sex tape, he doesn't look like he's a good lover. So it would probably be boring. So Hulk Hogan's out. So that leaves Macho Man Randy Savage and Ravishing Rick Rude.
So you're just going to do process of elimination.
Yes, both of them are hotheads in real life. And if you know me, you know that I like a little danger in my romance. So I have to choose which one is going to be for a shorter amount of time, because at some point they're going to get irritated that maybe I'm being too needy or I'm carrying on for too long, and they're going to try to kick the shit out of me. So I'm going to go Macho Man for 5 because he legitimately scared the shit out of me outside the ring. And if you've heard stories about him, you know what I'm talking about. But Ravishing Rick Rude also was known to be a badass. So I'm going to lean towards Rude for longer because, as you talked about, he looks like he knows how to treat you right. He's got the amazing mustache. And I'm choosing 80s era Rick Rude, not 90s era Rick Rude, because 90s era Rick Rude had the crew cut. I want 80s perm, poodle-like hair Rick Rude, because I might be able...
who would airbrush his face on his own junk.
Yes. So there you go.
The guy.
High expectations. You got your answer. And I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of it.
You took way too much time on that.
Told you I think about these things.
Yeah.
Anyways. So there we go.
Thanks a lot for that question.
I liked it. I don't know about you. Our next question coming from and I'm sorry, I said it was from the High Expectations podcast. Give them a listen. They are lovely ladies.
lovely ladies.
From New Zealand. They have a podcast. I'm wondering if they're going to listen to ours, because I know I believe Jazz often talks about how she doesn't like listening to podcasts over 30 minutes. So they keep their podcast relatively short. I don't think they ever eclipse the 45-minute mark on their show. I'm curious to see if she's still listening right now. So when this episode comes out, I will find out. But anyways, give them a listen.
Just tweet her and tell her to start at an hour into it.
Follow them on Twitter as well, at HighX Podcast, HIGHEX Podcast. You will not be disappointed. Next question coming to us from our girl in the UK, Chelsea, at Chelsea Carla X. Hey,
babe.
What's up, Chelsea? Lovely lady.
That's the next shirt.
lovely lady. Her question's a very easy one. How awesome am I on a scale of 10 out of 10?
Oh, you know what? I answered this question on Twitter.
And go ahead and repeat your answer.
My answer was that I am not a subscriber of the 10 out of 10 rating scale. My scale is the Cliff scale. And she gets 5 clips from me.
There you go.
5 out of 5 clips.
I will use the 10 scale and say on a scale
you say she's 11 or 12, I'm going to punch you in the face.
On a scale, I won't say that. On a scale of 10 out of 10, I'm going to say 110. What?
Oh, God.
What?
You're whipped.
Whipped?
Whoopsh.
She's a lovely lady.
Lovely lady.
So yes, give her a follow on Twitter at Chelsea Carla X.
So you'll be the first to get 5.5 clips.
Boom. There you go. See?
Whoa.
Meltzer can give out 6 stars out of 5.
Right.
Chelsea gets 6 clips.
Giving you an extra half clips.
All right. Next question from Mr. PWO at Mr. PWO316 on Twitter asks, who is the most underrated talent in WWE right now?
Ooh, the most underrated talent, Rusev.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a name that I don't think most people will say. I'm going to say no.
Enzo.
No.
Okay, continue. I'm sticking with Rusev, by the way.
I am going to say Cedric Alexander. I think he's being wasted in the cruiserweight division. He may not have rock-like charisma, but he's one of those type of performers where his charisma is how he performs in the ring. And he could be an RVD level type performer in that he just wows everybody in the ring, and he never has to really get on mic. I think they're wasting him.
The thing about him is that I think that he could, like 205 is not his normal weight. He lost all that weight so he could be in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Right. When he was wrestling on the Indies and Ring of Honor and everything, I want to say he was about 235. Like, I know he lost something like 30 pounds to hit the Cruiserweight limit in WWE.
Yeah, he need to go ahead and just put that weight back on.
Right.
Call it a day. I mean, this is, 205 has got him on TV, so, he'll probably ride that out until they cancel the show.
Right. Another lovely, lovely lady from the UK, Emma at Earthwind Kernow. Earthwind KERNOW on Twitter. Asks, okay, as a UK WWE fan going to a live event next week, who do you reckon will replace Reigns and Wyatt in these matches? And she sent me a picture of the match card. Wyatt was due to wrestle Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns was due to wrestle Braun Strowman and The Bar as a six-man tag with the Shield. Yeah, with the I am going to say it is November 5th. I'm hearing rumors that Roman is getting checked out on Monday to see if he is in the clear from that whole mumps thing. It's been floating around that it was meningitis, but WWE is claiming it was mumps. Mumps.
Wow.
But he's being checked out on Monday, and if he's fine, he's hitting back out on the road. So there's a chance, Emma, that Roman may still make that tour. As far as Bray Wyatt,
John Cena would have made it.
John Cena would have.
Maybe he'll do it.
Maybe, maybe
they'll get John for one day.
That wouldn't shock me. I'm going to agree with you on that if it is not Roman, maybe John Cena, as a surprise. Maybe Triple H. He wrestled in South Africa. He covered for KO.
Or maybe they will scrap the Wyatt Finn thing and just put Finn in the match with the Shield.
Yeah, that would make sense too.
Yeah. And so they just did that same thing with AJ.
Yeah. Damn, they're getting a UK championship match. Mark Andrews versus Pete Dunne.
Ooh.
Jealous.
That's going to be fun. You think they're going to main event it?
No. They should.
You don't think so?
No.
They definitely should.
I don't think so. So there you go, Emma. I actually agree with Cliff. I think that if Roman is not able to make it, they'll probably just scrap that Finn match and put him with the Shield. Dream scenario, John Cena.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next question coming to us from the Besotted Geek podcast. Give them a follow on Twitter at Besotted Geek Pod. That is BESOTTED GEEKPOD. They are a very funny podcast. I listen to them each week. They kind of have this cool format where they make a drink based on what they're talking about and drink it and then talk about the show or the movie or whatever it is they're talking about. And if it is, say, a franchise or a series, they do like their own kind of polls between each other. Like, okay, best zombie kill of the series, best protagonist, best villain, things like that. They did the Romero movies, and I'm a Romero zombie movie freak. So their question to us, favorite non-wrestling TV shows.
Ooh, shows. So I can put some stank on that.
Yeah.
One. Okay. Well, right now, for my listening and viewing pleasure, it is. I've got a bunch. I watch way more TV than I think that I do, and it's usually like when I get off work and I'm trying to like catch up. I'll just like binge a whole bunch of shit. So, right now it's The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
It is The Flash and Arrow. And if I can go to, this isn't, oh no, Power. Watch a lot of Power. Blackish. And then if we go to the Netflix, I'll have to go with Stranger Things.
Are you just now getting caught up on that? I know the second season comes out tomorrow.
I finished the first season, and the new season comes out tomorrow.
Right.
Well, actually, it comes out in about 3 hours.
Right. I also watch Flash and Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., although I'm hearing that...
yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing that it's getting moved to the Friday death slot in January, so that makes me sad.
Yeah, it sucks, but...
I watch that. I watch Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, although that obviously is on hiatus. Netflix. Netflix, yeah, Stranger Things. I'm very excited about. Give me a superhero show or whatever, and I'm all over it. I also, I'm not a huge fan of sitcoms, but I like the Goldbergs. Because
I've only seen one episode of that, and I wasn't into it.
I like it. It reminds me of, my childhood.
Yeah.
Let's see. I watch
can't
a
relate.
lot of, I don't know why, but I watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay shows. Like MasterChef and Hell's Kitchen and things like that. Maybe because I want to be him.
You want to be Gordon Ramsay?
I just want to yell at people and
and get paid for it.
Get paid millions to just treat people like shit.
Yeah, but you also have to be a professional and a master of your craft.
I am.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you.
How did you not know this? No, I feel like I'm leaving shows out though.
Oh, you're definitely going to leave them out. I mean, I watch so many shows that I can't even like put them all in.
I feel like I could be watching more if I didn't spend, 6 to 8 hours a week watching wrestling.
Right. I wonder what I'm missing out on
right.
since I'm watching so much wrestling.
I feel like there's right now I'm almost caught up. We fell behind. The most recent season of American Horror Story, Cult. I stopped
watching that after the second season.
You should watch this Cult season. This most recent one is good. It's set around here.
Around Michigan?
Yes, like they're
really
Redford, they're the Northville, stuff like that. It's set on the night of and after Trump wins the presidency.
Oh, wow.
And it's this weird cult, I don't want to give anything away, but it's this weird, clowns and phobias and things like I actually kind of dig it. I didn't see last week's episode, and I know that I think the most recent one just happened, so I probably have 2 weeks worth on DVR right now, or maybe even 3, but I like it.
I haven't watched it since was it the
Asylum?
Hotel?
Hotel was the 4th season, I think.
So no, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the Hotel. I didn't watch the Freak Show.
Wait,
So it must have been.
it
Yeah,
was that was the hotel was the fifth one because it was the Murder House was the first season. Second season
Right.
was Asylum. Third was The Witches. Fourth was The Freak Show. Fifth was The Hotel. Sixth was Roanoke. And then,
yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll watch this season.
You should. I think you should.
I'll binge it. I have a confession to make. So normally, I'm pretty much like current on shows, especially like the shows that everybody likes and everybody watches or loves. I'm usually very
tapped in.
Yeah, tapped into those shows, but I've never watched, well, I won't say I've never watched it, but I've only seen one episode of Breaking Bad. I've only seen I only have seen the last episode of Lost.
You don't watch Game of Thrones either, do you?
I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I think the only episode I saw in Game of Thrones was with what's Aquaman's character?
Khal Drogo.
Khal Drogo. Yeah, I saw that episode when he had sex with somebody.
Well, that was like 5 or 6 episodes, so you have to be more specific.
I saw one of those episodes.
And it was probably Khaleesi, and he was probably raping her. So way to go.
I think that was
way to go. Way to be a champion of women.
Bruh, because that was the episode that was on when I flipped the channel.
That's what you remember, and you saw it as romantic lovemaking.
I mean, it was pretty fucking devastating.
That's not how you phrased it. You made it seem like, oh, he was having sex with her. She was loving it. No,
it was.
That's not what was happening.
That was. You know what? You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. No, you're not.
Just saying.
But yeah, so I've never seen that. I've never seen The Sopranos.
Oh, we're not friends anymore.
Right? Crazy. There's so much stuff on TV.
Yeah.
So much stuff that has come and has gone. So, yep. Oh, and I never saw the third season of The Wire.
I haven't seen any of The Wire.
What?
I started to watch like the first 2 episodes of it, and for whatever reason, I wasn't into it, and I never went back.
Wow. I would have figured you'd be a Wire guy.
I know I would be. Because that's like right in my wheelhouse, but I never watched it.
You used to watch Oz though, right?
Oh, I own every season of Oz on DVD.
Yeah.
I've probably seen every episode of it like 5 times, which is weird for me to say, but I loved that show when it was on.
Apparently you just like prison rape.
I do.
All right.
Well, we just talked about like, to make out with those wrestlers, it had to do with prison, right? Why did my mind go there? Probably Oz.
There it is. Fantasy come to life.
There you go.
Got it.
All right. Moving on to next question from the Useless Debates podcast at UDPC podcast. They are another fun podcast. Also Castaway podcast, where I actually explained their show to you earlier before we started recording. They have a different topic and then they debate it. And it's usually, as they say, useless debates. It's usually something having to do with pop culture or things like that, like best disaster movie, best 80s heartthrob crush, stuff like that. Their question sounds like a topic from their show. Best movie by a former wrestler, best role.
Best movie by a former wrestler.
So I think they're giving us 2 questions there. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same one.
Yeah. Okay. So the best movie by a former wrestler.
I'm gonna jump in first because mine immediately popped to mind.
All right.
Best movie by a former wrestler. They Live. Roddy Piper. John Carpenter. amazing. I love that movie so much. And probably one of the best fight scenes in a movie that was not like your, kung fu overly choreographed scene. It looked like a street fight between him and Keith David. And it lasted for like 5 minutes. It was just this epic fight
scene, like freaking ever.
And it was great. So yeah, there you go. That's my best movie by a former wrestler. Best role. It's either going to go to, because I don't want to go the easy route and choose like a Rock movie or anything like that. I'm going to say best role to me is a toss up between Terry Funk in Roadhouse.
Right.
Or Stan Hansen in the movie No Holds Barred when he was the hillbilly in the bar, the Fight Club bar, and he ran up on the yuppie guys and talked about the size of their penis. Well, if it ain't the teeny whiner. There you go.
Wow. All right.
Came prepared, son.
You always see, but this is the thing. You get the questions.
That doesn't mean anything.
And so you already have, like, oh, what I'm gonna answer because I've known this for the last 2-3 days.
Spring that question on me at a party, I'd have still had the same answer, bitch.
Yeah, whatever. You would have just been like, oh, Stan Hansen.
Yes,
Final
I would
answer.
have. I would have.
Fuck out of here. FOH.
How about
right,
this? You want to go?
So I'm gonna go with.
How about George the Animal
it's
Steel
a toss-up
and Ed
between,
Wood? You like that?
Thunder in Paradise and the Scorpion King.
You sure you don't want to go Undertaker in Suburban Commando?
No, it's got to be.
How about Kevin Nash as Super Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2?
No, it's got to be See No Evil.
See No Evil?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be. No, you know what? It's going to be the Marine. Nope, the Marine 2. No, Marine 3.
Wow. Okay, you just went through like half of WWE Films catalog there. Best role? Are you still thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, no, in real life. This isn't necessarily a wrestler movie, but a wrestler was starring in the movie, so I'm going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh! You know what? Bravo. Because I didn't even think about it. Dave Bautista, Drax.
That's right. Big Dave. And the best role, I know you said it would seem easy with The Rock, but I honestly say that probably the best like acting role that I've seen was The Rock in Walking Tall.
Walking Tall?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he did an excellent job in that movie.
You didn't like him in San Andreas?
No. I felt like Walking Tall, he actually wasn't The Rock. I feel like that's the only movie that I've seen him in that he wasn't him.
Okay. All right. I'm not hey. What about Moana?
No, in Moana he was definitely him.
He was.
Yeah. Like 1000% him.
Oh shit, Cliff. Next question. You're probably going to talk for the next 45 minutes about this.
Oh, Lord.
Comes from our boys at the Home Video Hustle. At HVH Podcast on Twitter, or as they say, capital H, capital V, capital H, capital P, lowercase Oddcast.
Oddcast.
You ready, Cliff?
I'm ready.
Top 5 favorite rappers.
Dead or alive. Dylon.
Ooh.
Dylon.
Ooh.
Dylon.
Oh.
Dylon and
Oh,
Dylon.
I was gonna say fifth one's got to be Dylon
It's got to be Dylon
because he spits hot fire.
He spits hot fire.
That's right.
That's a debate that I think the answer to that question changes probably daily.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's hard for me to do that.
Yeah,
because it just depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah, it depends on the day. So off the rip, I'm gonna go with, if I just railed them off right now, it'd be Eminem, Jay-Z, Biggie, Pac, and Nas.
Nas. Okay. See, again, I have a hard time with this because it depends on what mood I'm in. So I'm gonna go with the ones that always seem to come up on my phone or in any playlists that I made, like on Spotify and stuff like that. I'm more into the old school stuff, although I do love Pac and Biggie, and I was gonna say Eminem because he always seems to pop up on my stuff, so he'll be in there. I listen to a lot of Run DMC.
Hey, legend.
I love there, to me, like Raising Hell, King of Rock, all that stuff. I cannot. They're always on a playlist or on my phone at all times. I listen to a lot of Public Enemy. Sophisticated Bitch. Can't Trust It. Fucking God, I'm just thinking of songs that always seem to come up when I'm on there. Love Public Enemy. So there's 3. Let's see. I have a lot of Nas that comes up on my playlist. I don't know why. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Action Bronson. I don't know why.
Action Bronson is dope.
Yeah. Was it Baby Blue or fucking? He had a song Barry Horowitz that I listened to.
You would,
yeah, But no, I listen to a lot of Action Bronson. It doesn't hurt that he's a wrestling fan too, but he's on a lot of my shit right now. Yeah. So that's I'll just say that. There's my 5.
Well, see, like I said, my list changes because now I'm realizing I don't have Andre 3000 in there.
There you go.
And you kind of got to substitute him. Redman.
Oh, Redman.
See, it's
shit. That's another one that always pops up. Method Man. Anything Method Man, Wu-Tang are always in my shit.
DMX.
Oh, dude, I lived DMX for like when he was real hot. Man,
the dude put out 2 #1 albums
like back to back
a year.
Yeah,
like,
and I could
the same calendar year.
I guarantee you put any of the songs off those 2 albums on right now, I know every fucking line.
Dude, I had a party.
And you didn't invite me
2 years ago.
You didn't. I
listened to, literally, like, I was hammered and listened to like the whole DMX discography. Like, it's just hammered sitting on my floor.
You remember when he was hot there for that period? We're talking about It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and then what was the other one? I can see the album cover, the white album cover, and he's got blood all over him. Is it Flesh on My Flesh? There you go. You were really into Dragon.
Dude, Dragon was killing. He was killing.
He was. He had what happened to him? Where is Dragon?
Shit, I don't know. He fell off. But he tried to come back. He put out a song like a couple years ago. But once the whole Rough Rider thing faded, he kind of didn't have anybody to push him anymore.
You know what?
And I don't know what happened, in between all that, but I know Swiss Beats kind of like separated himself from the Rough Riders, and after that, You know, it was pretty much everybody did their own thing, and he kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I would still to this day
turned into a megastar. Eve turned into a megastar.
Yeah, that's
doing
just what
TV.
I was getting ready to say. I would still to this day.
Swiss Beats turned into a megastar. So it was like after that, it was just like Drag On and Infrared and whoever else was in the Rough Riders that I can't even name at the time.
Grand Champ was not a bad album.
Grand Champ was dope too. I honestly don't think DMX has put out a bad album. He put out, what was the last one? What was the last?
The one before
DMX
Grand
album?
Champ, I was not a huge fan of. What was that one?
Oh, what is the name?
Again,
of
I
it?
see the album cover and I can't think of what it's called.
Wait, was Grand Champ? Was that the?
That was the one
like
with the pit
green.
bull on it.
Yeah. What was the one before that?
Was it
it's
Great?
gonna freaking.
Why do I want to say Great Depression? I don't think that's what it's called.
Yep.
Is it?
Yep. That's it. That was it.
And
that one wasn't bad either. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't as good as the first two.
I would still marry Eve to this day.
Who wouldn't?
You know what I've been listening to again a lot lately, and this all has to do with a mutual friend of ours who was obsessed with that band, probably still is to this day. I've been listening to a lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony's been coming up on my playlists, everything lately.
Yo, Bone is. I can't say that any one of them individually is a top 5 rapper.
No,
but just Bone as a group is one of the most influential groups in hip hop history.
Fucking some shit from Art of War came up on my play. I was driving yesterday. I was driving home from work yesterday, and it came up, and I started listening to it, and I'm just singing along.
Yeah, we opened up for Bone.
Yes, you did.
That was in 2000 and I think that was 2012 or 2013. I think that was the last big show that we did before I moved. Yeah, it was 2012 because I was still living in Chicago at the time.
We've talked about it on the show before. New listeners to the show. Clifford L. Johnson was formerly known as Big Red, 1/3 of the Street Justice crew.
That's right.
Or I'm sorry, 1/4 because I keep leaving out Formula One.
Yep. 1/4 and then 1/5. We kind of went through like Street Justice went through like Destiny's Child syndrome. Where it was like it was 3 of us, then it was 4. We added a guy, and then we added another, my homeboy.
Well, Formula One was was your DJ.
Well, then we added Formula later after we kind of just went through, like, it was one of those like metamorphosis, like of who's serious and who's getting it, who's down, and then like it went from 3 to 4 to 5 back to 3 with me catching Gypsy. And then Formula came in as our DJ.
I just thought it was dope near the end when you guys always played with the live band.
Oh man, that was like some
Fucking
of the saxophones of my life.
And shit like that. Oh,
bro, when we did the show with Nas, we had like a 10-piece fucking orchestra with us.
It was like the Roots.
It was man, it was incredible. If you guys get a chance, you should go check it out. Go to YouTube and just look up Street Justice Nas and you'll find it.
Yes. And if you would like to hear more of Clifford L. Johnson and Street Justice, you can find their album Go Ham, HAAM, on iTunes.
That's right.
Give our boy a download.
Yeah, go ahead. Put that 99 cent in the boy's pocket real quick. We can still take that nostalgia money.
And if you are ever interested in hearing more, hit one of us up on Twitter. I'm sure I have just about every mixtape that y'all came out with. I could probably, start bootlegging that, making a couple bucks on this.
Hey, go ahead. If somebody's willing to buy it, shit.
The only one that I cannot find is Soul Searching.
I can't find Soul Searching because that was right before
Coffee House.
the whole digital
thing. That was the one
none
before
of that
Coffee
stuff
House, right?
ever made it online. What's that?
Was Soul Searching before Coffee House?
Soul Searching was before Coffee House, yeah. So Coffee House was our first project that we actually put up online for download.
Yeah.
And we had did Soul Searching. Like, that was the year when we were just cranking out like as much music as we possibly could. Like 50 Cent had this whole thing of, G Unit was dropping mixtapes like every month. And we were just like, dude, let's just keep doing projects, man. So we dropped Soul Searching. And then right after we dropped that, we started working on the Coffee House and History in the Making. And those were like the first ones that we put up for download. And they got like 10,000 downloads on Dat Piff. And, that was when that site started popping. But we never went back and put Soul Searching online. So and somebody stole my computer and my hard drive a couple of years back, and it had like the archives of everything on it. So I don't know if I had the only mastered copy of them on my hard drive, but like it seems like nobody can find the damn CD nowhere.
I thought I had it because I remembered you saying something about it, and I was digging, and I may have it somewhere. I still think I have it somewhere, and if I do, obviously I will, send you a copy.
That'd be
or whatever.
great, because I would love to hear that again. 'Cause that was one of my favorites.
But talking about things that always come up on playlists for me, it sounds like I'm kissing your ass because you're my best friend, but I'm being honest. I have a lot of Street Justice stuff that comes up on my playlist, especially one of my favorites ever, and I don't know why, but I just think it is one of the dopest songs ever, is 80 Bars Dash, where you guys did the beat over the Flash Gordon theme song.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song.
We murdered that.
That was a great.
We absolutely murdered that.
And again, if you are interested in hearing any of this, please DM me on Twitter. I will be glad to let you.
Hit us up and we'll send you them links.
Yeah.
Actually, all of our stuff should still be on our Bandcamp too. Like, I haven't updated it in years, but it's still up there.
Yeah, Street Justice.
Streetjustice.bandcamp.com.
Wow.
All right, we got any more questions?
Thank you, Brent.
We can literally talk about music for ever. We can run this thing 2, 3, 4 hours.
I could talk horror movies
about this shit.
And superhero movies and whatever forever. We could talk about rap forever.
For sure.
Yeah. No, that's the last question.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. We got any just random shit you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Meh.
I probably should have did the Make It Work today.
Oh, is it on you to make it work?
Remember? I was going to take it from you because you didn't. It was supposed to be you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't do it now because this shit will be fucking 3 hours long.
Yeah. Reverend Devon, we'll have to figure that out.
Oh, Reverend Devon won?
Technically, Reverend Devon and Max Moon won. It was a tie.
So then you have to make them a tag team.
Oh, you. You know what?
Throwing a monkey wrench in.
Fuck it. I'll do it. It's not going to be... Okay, we mentioned this last week. Make It Work is no longer going to be a weekly segment. It's too hard to do that every week. We will have a poll up every other week, and then every other week after that, it will be me making it work because Cliff can't be motherfucking bothered.
You got to give me a layup, man.
Oh, fuck that.
For sure. Give me a layup and I'll take it.
So yes, next week I promise next week I will. I'll take that challenge. I will bring back Reverend Devon and I will bring back Max Moon and I will find a way to make them a tag team.
That's gonna be awesome.
All right. So next week you have something to look forward to, listeners. If you enjoy Make It Work, I'm gonna do that. And non-wrestling fans, Google Reverend Devon and Google Max Moon, and you will see that this should not be possible. But I just right now, boom, I think I just got an idea. I'm going to figure it out.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Do it.
Oh, and we have some ideas of other things that we'd like to do on the show. So we'd throw it out there. If you are interested, please let us know. They may be bonus shows, things like that. We've tossed around the idea of maybe doing like a commentary track for like an old, pay-per-view or big event off of the WWE network, like an ECW or WCW or WWE show. I'm not reaching all the way back to the early shit because that'd just be boring as fuck. So yeah, like we might do shit like that. I'd like to do some more interviews on here and get some indie talent on the show. And as far as I'm concerned, we don't even have to talk about wrestling. We'll get an indie talent on the show and talk about their favorite video games. Because this is the Wrestling
down with that.
Nerds Alliance, right?
Yes, it's nerd.
Emphasis on nerds.
We're going to be the worldwide nerd alliance.
There you go.
If you guys start seeing the words go away and the letters like TNA,
WNA,
it went from total nonstop action and it just was TNA. Don't know what it means anymore, but all right, so it would just be WNA. Insert your own definition.
So yeah,
Weak Niggas Alliance.
No, see, I can't say that word. Well, no, technically I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Unless you want that 1% of your ass beat.
Oh, don't make me start dancing now. I'll prove to you. Prove to you. Just hit Gender's music.
Oh,
I'm not finding a way to do anything. Our buddy Bob from the Cretans Guild Nerd or Not podcast, he found Gender's lyrics and tweeted them at me. I'm gonna learn that shit. I looked at the translation, and there's some shit in that theme song that I don't think would pass standards and practices with WWE.
Really?
Talking about beheadings and a lion eating flesh and stuff like that. Yes, sir.
I wonder if Vince knows about that.
I guarantee you he does not. He hears the same thing I hear.
I hate you.
Oh, worked it in, bitch.
I hate you so much.
Follow us on Twitter at WNA Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at that Robb guy. That is Robb with 2 B's because I believe I'm special. Follow Cliff on Twitter at Cliff Does It All. You can find us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. Please, 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 if you like the show, follow us on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes. Go to iTunes. Leave us a review. 5 stars if possible. Buy our shirt. We have a shirt. Wrestling Nerds Alliance shirt. You can find it at stayred.spreadshirt.com, and that is red with 2 D's because Cliff thinks he's special.
That's right.
So, it's time to go home.
I am Clifford L. Johnson.
And I'm Robb English, saying to you, when life hands you adversity, always kick out at 2. Like an angel. You like an angel. Sing it, baby. Sounds so good. All right, that's enough. This is ridiculous now. I'm shutting off the. I'm gonna turn off the recording. You're gonna run out of breath at some point. Put your face in a dirty diaper. That didn't even work. I thought it would.
I'm getting better at that.
You are. Breath control. I wonder how. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, that was so. Oh shit!
Oh, you did? You fucking said it again! God damn it!
I'm gonna bleep it out this time.